My sister ruined my life just because she was jealous. I always knew my sister didn't like me. She never said it out loud, but I felt it growing up. The way she looked at me when our parents praised me, the fake smile she gave at my graduation, the way she'd roll her eyes when I got a boyfriend or did something good. But I never thought she'd take it as far as she did. My name's Julia. I'm 25 now. This happened a year ago, but I still think about it almost every day. My sister, Amanda, is 2 years older. She was always the hot one, the one with the loud laugh, the one who knew how to talk to people. I was quieter, did better in school with fewer friends, more serious boyfriends. Our parents, especially my mom, always tried to make it seem like they treated us equally, but Amanda made sure I knew she didn't believe that. If I had your grades, Mom would throw a damn parade, she'd say. Or, you always get everything handed to you because you're the little princess. The funny thing is, I always looked up to her. I thought maybe we were just different and would grow closer with time. But what she did made sure that would never happen. It started when I introduced her to my boyfriend, Chris. We'd been dating for a year and a half by then. He was solid, kind, funny in a subtle way, and had this quiet confidence I really liked. He was an EMT, worked weird hours, but made time for me. We were serious, like moving in together serious. And for some stupid reason, I wanted Amanda to like him. I wanted her to say, "Yeah, he's good for you." Instead, I got something way different. She met him at a small dinner at our parents' place. It was just the four of us, me, Chris, Amanda, and our mom. Dad was on a work trip. Amanda showed up wearing a dress that could have passed for club wear and immediately launched into stories about her crazy dating life, trying to pull Chris into the conversation. Ever dated someone 10 years older? They know what they're doing, she said, looking straight at him. He laughed politely, but I felt it a flicker of something weird. I told myself I was overreacting. Over the next few weeks, Amanda started bumping into us more. One time, she texted me saying she was just in the area and came to the coffee shop where Chris and I were having a casual Sunday morning. Another time, she asked if we wanted to double date with a guy she was seeing. Chris said no, and I was relieved. But things got worse. I started noticing small changes in Chris. He'd get weird when Amanda came up in conversation. He stopped liking her Instagram posts, yeah, I noticed, and he seemed annoyed when I mentioned her. One night, I asked him jokingly, "You don't think Amanda's trying to hit on you, do you?" Then said, "I don't know. I mean, yeah, sometimes it feels that way." I laughed it off, but something dropped in my stomach. About 2 weeks after that, I was at Chris' place. He was in the shower. His phone buzzed. I wasn't trying to snoop, I swear, but the notification popped up. Amanda. So, are we pretending that night didn't happen? I froze. I waited for him to get out and asked him, as calmly as I could, "What night is Amanda talking about?" He went pale. He didn't answer. That was my answer. I left. Just walked out. He chased me, shirt half on, swearing it was a mistake, that it only happened once, that they were both drunk, that she came on to him, and he was feeling lonely because I'd been distant that week. I blocked his number that night. I didn't respond to Amanda's fake-ass message the next morning. "Hey, I think we need to talk. Things got messy. I didn't mean to hurt you." Messy? She didn't just sleep with my boyfriend. She waited until she wanted to. That was just the beginning of the fallout. After I left Chris's place, I drove around for almost an hour. No music, no destination, just trying to wrap my head around the fact that my own sister slept with the guy I was planning to move in with. I ended up in a Target parking lot, sitting in my car until it got dark. I didn't go home that night. I crashed on my friend Lila's couch. She's been my best friend since college, and when I told her what happened, she was pissed. "She always hated seeing you happy," Lila said. "She's sick, Julia. Cut her off forever." I wanted to. God, I wanted to. But there's this part of you when it's family that just hesitates. It's drilled into your head that family is forever, even when they're the ones sticking the knife in. The next day, I told my mom. Her reaction still messes with me. She looked heartbroken, yes, but she didn't get angry. She didn't even raise her voice. She just kept saying things like, "Oh, honey, are you sure? It must have been a misunderstanding. I'm sure Amanda didn't mean to hurt you." Didn't mean to. I showed her the damn text. What else did she need a confession video? When I told her I was going no contact with Amanda, she looked at me like I was the problem. "Julia, she's your sister. You're both going through things. Please don't make this permanent." I walked out of her house that day. I haven't been back since. The days that followed were rough. Chris tried texting me from random numbers. At one point, he even showed up at my job. My boss had to call security. I filed a police report after that, nothing serious, but enough to scare him off. Amanda didn't stop either. She sent me a long-ass email a few days later, which I wish I hadn't opened. It was full of excuses. She said it was a one-time mistake, that she was drunk and lonely, and that she felt like no one ever picks her, that I had everything. My friends, my career, Chris, and she had nothing. I didn't reply. What do you even say to something like that? I blocked her everywhere. Socials, phone, even email. The only way we could communicate now was through our parents, and of course, she knew that. It didn't take long before my mom started trying to mediate. One night, she called me crying, saying Amanda was depressed, that she wasn't eating, that I needed to show some compassion. I asked her point blank, "Did she even say sorry?" She hesitated, then said, "Not exactly, but she feels awful." I hung up. A week later, I found out Amanda and Chris were dating. I saw a photo on someone's tagged Instagram story. It was a birthday dinner mutual friends of ours. Amanda and Chris were sitting next to each other and his arm was around her. They weren't even hiding it anymore. That's when the rage kicked in. Up until then, I'd been sad, betrayed, numb. But now, I was furious. I messaged the girl who posted the story. She was a friend of a friend, someone I only knew casually, but she replied instantly, "Yeah, I thought you knew they've been together for like a couple weeks now." She said it so casually, like it wasn't a big deal. So I did something petty. I made a new Instagram account burner, no followers, and posted screenshots of Amanda's original message to Chris. The one that said, "So, are we pretending that night didn't happen?" I tagged her. I didn't write a caption, just the screenshots. It took maybe 5 minutes before she blocked me, but the damage was done. I didn't even care if people thought it was messy. I wanted people to know what kind of person she was. And then people did start to talk. Lila told me some mutual friends cut Amanda off completely. She stopped showing up to social events. Chris deleted all his social media. I guess they thought if they went quiet, people would forget. But I didn't forget. Not when the betrayal came from my own blood. Then this part still blows my mind. My dad called me. We don't talk that often. He's not the emotional type. He's the work hard, suck it up kind of guy. So I didn't expect much. But he said, "I know what your sister did, and I want you to know. You're not crazy." I nearly cried. He said he was disappointed in both Amanda and Chris. That even though he's trying to stay out of it, he wanted me to know he saw the truth. That meant more to me than I could explain. Meanwhile, Amanda and Chris kept dating, quietly in the background. They weren't posting anything online, but I heard things through mutuals. Someone said Amanda moved into his place. Another said they were talking about getting a dog. I tried to move on, started therapy, focused on work. Even went on a few dates, nothing serious, but enough to remind myself there were good people out there. I blocked every channel where I might accidentally see them together. But then, something happened last month, and this story took a turn I didn't even see coming. Her lies started catching up. It started with a message request on Facebook from some girl I didn't know named Ellie. I almost deleted it without reading, but something in the preview caught my eye. "I think you deserve to know the truth about Amanda and Chris." I opened it. Turns out Ellie was Chris's ex, like the ex right before me. She dated him for over 2 years, and according to her, their relationship overlapped with the beginning of ours. "I only found out about you recently," she wrote. "Amanda told me everything, except I don't think she knows I figured it all out." Wait, what? Apparently, Amanda and Ellie had mutual friends. They met once at a party, and classic Amanda started gossiping. Drunk, loud, oversharing. She told Ellie how she stole her sister's boyfriend, bragged about how easy it was, and how Julia never saw it coming. But Amanda didn't know Ellie used to date him. She didn't even recognize her name. So Ellie pieced everything together, the timelines, the overlaps, the way Chris always got quiet when she asked about his past. It got worse. According to Ellie, Amanda claimed she and Chris had been hooking up on and off for months before I found out. And not just once like they told me. She said they used to meet up when I was out of town or working late. She said she didn't feel bad because you always got what you wanted. I felt sick. But then Ellie dropped the final bomb. Amanda told me she was pregnant. My heart stopped. That couldn't be real, could it? She didn't say it was Chris's for sure, Ellie continued. But that's what she implied. I don't know if it's true or if she's lying to keep him around. Just thought you should know. I couldn't breathe. For a second, I literally forgot how. I didn't reply right away. I just sat there, reading the message over and over. Then I did something I probably shouldn't have. I sent it to my mom, word for word, screenshots and all. She didn't respond for 2 days. When she finally did, it was a single text. "Please stop dragging this out. Amanda's going through enough right now." Dragging it out? She had no idea. None of them did. I was the only one who knew what Amanda was really like, and every time I tried to speak up, I was told to move on or be the bigger person. Screw that. A week later, I got a call from Amanda. I shouldn't have answered, but I was tired. Tired of avoiding. Tired of letting her have the last word. Her voice was calm. Too calm. "I know you've been spreading lies," she started. "I don't know who that girl was, but whatever she told you, it's not true." "Oh, really?" I said. "So, you didn't tell your friends you were sleeping with Chris for months? You didn't say you were pregnant?" There was a pause. Then she laughed. "That bitch has no life. She's obsessed with me." She was deflecting, like always. "Why are you even calling?" I asked. "You want to yell at me for not being quiet while you play victim?" Amanda sighed. "I just wanted to say I'm done trying to make peace. I tried, Julia. You're the one who wanted this war." That word. War. Like I was the aggressor. Like I ruined her life. I hung up. I blocked her again. But this time I didn't cry. That same night, Lila invited me out for drinks. Said I needed a distraction. I agreed. We were sitting at the bar when I heard someone say, "Julia?" I turned. It was Ben, Chris's former roommate. We hadn't seen each other since before the breakup. He gave me a weird look, like he didn't know if he should say something or not. But then he leaned in and whispered, "Hey, I probably shouldn't say this, but Chris moved out. Amanda kicked him out last week." "Wait, what? Why?" I asked. Ben shook his head. "I'm not sure. But they had a huge fight. Cops were called. No charges, but she was screaming something about him ruining everything. Sounded ugly." I blinked. "Is she pregnant?" Ben looked confused. "I don't think so." Didn't look it. "And if she is, he never said anything." He paused and added, "Honestly, Julia, he looked miserable. Like, genuinely broken. I know how petty that sounds. But after everything, I felt relief. Maybe Amanda finally pushed the wrong person too far. Maybe Chris saw her for who she really was. Or maybe they both just got exactly what they deserved. But the fallout didn't end there. A few days later, my mom called again. She left a voicemail this time, voice shaking. "Amanda had a breakdown. She's staying with me now. I didn't know things were that bad. I never called back because I didn't care. Amanda made her choices. She lied, manipulated, and burned every bridge in her path. She chose to be selfish over and over again. And now, she's finally alone." I finally said everything I wanted to say a couple weeks after Amanda moved in with my mom. I got a letter in the mail, an actual handwritten letter. Who even does that anymore? It was from her. I recognized the messy loops of her handwriting before I even opened the envelope. I told myself I wouldn't read it, that she didn't deserve any more space in my head, but I did. It started with a generic apology. "I know I hurt you. I think about it every day. I didn't mean for any of this to happen." She wrote like she was some passive observer, like things just happened to her. She talked about how Chris turned out to be controlling and emotionally distant. She said he'd been lying to her too, that he'd been texting his ex, probably Ellie, and that the night she kicked him out, she found messages he'd been sending someone else. "He used both of us," she wrote. "I guess I deserved it." Then she said something that made my blood boil. "You always made it look so easy, Julia. People liked you. Mom and Dad were proud of you. Guys fell for you without you even trying. I felt invisible next to you." So that's what this was about. It wasn't about Chris. It wasn't about some random mistake. She wanted to hurt me because of who I was, because I existed. She ended the letter asking if I'd ever consider talking again. She said she missed me. I stared at the page for a long time. Then I threw it in the trash. I was done. I'd spent months trying to heal from what she did. I wasn't about to let her drag me back into her storm, just because she finally realized how empty her world was without me. I didn't reply. I didn't even tell my mom I got it. But something shifted in me after that. I felt lighter, like I'd finally slammed a door that should have been closed a long time ago. Fast forward to last week. My dad invited me over for dinner. Just the two of us. He made steaks, the only thing he really knows how to cook, and cracked open a bottle of wine. We talked about work, about his garden, about my dog, who was still a menace but at least stopped chewing my shoes. Then he asked if I'd heard from Amanda. "Nope," I said. "And I'd like to keep it that way." He nodded, but I could tell he wanted to say more. "She's not doing well," he said finally. "She's back on her meds, seeing a therapist. I think she's realizing she pushed too far this time." I didn't answer. "I'm not asking you to forgive her," he added quickly. "Just maybe don't carry it with you forever, for your own sake." That hit me because I had been carrying it every day, like a shadow behind me. And maybe it was time to start letting it go, not for Amanda, but for me. I didn't say anything that night, just hugged him goodbye and went home. But the next day I sat down and wrote Amanda a letter. Not a reply, not an opening to reconnect, just closure. I told her everything I'd held back all year. I told her how betrayed I felt, how I trusted her more than anyone, how I would have done anything for her until she decided I wasn't worth protecting. I told her I hoped she got the help she needed, that maybe someday she'd figure out why she hurt the people who loved her most. But I also told her that I was done. No more second chances. No more being the bigger person. No more pretending we could go back to what we were. I didn't even sign it with love. Just goodbye. Then I mailed it. I didn't expect a reply. I don't even want one. Because here's the thing. Sometimes you don't get the apology you deserve. Sometimes the people who hurt you do end up alone. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away for good. And I did. I found peace without her a few weeks after I sent that letter. Something unexpected happened. I ran into Chris. Of all places, it was at a damn coffee shop. A random Thursday morning, just before work. I was waiting for my latte when I heard someone say my name. I turned, and there he was standing behind me in line, looking smaller. Not physically, just deflated. His hair was longer, his clothes wrinkled. He looked like someone who hadn't been sleeping much. He gave me a half smile. "Hey," he said, like we were casual old friends. I froze for a second, then just nodded. Hey, he took that as permission to keep talking. I didn't think I'd see you again. Same. He shoved his hands into his pockets, looking down at his shoes. I know you probably hate me, he said. You should. I don't even know what to say. Everything just got so screwed up. I stared at him, trying to decide if it was worth it. If I wanted to have this conversation. Part of me didn't, but another part, the part that wanted finality, leaned in. You hurt me, I said quietly. You both did, and I don't think either of you ever actually felt sorry. You just hated that people found out. He opened his mouth to respond, then closed it again. I watched him struggle with the truth. I didn't plan it, he said. Amanda, she came on to me. She kept showing up, texting me when you weren't around. At first I ignored it, but then I don't know. I was in a bad place. I made a stupid, selfish choice. You made a series of choices, I corrected. He nodded. Yeah, you're right. The barista called my name. My drink was ready. I picked it up, but I didn't walk away yet. I'm not mad anymore, I said. Not because I forgive you, but because you're not worth it. None of it is. He looked like he wanted to say something else. Maybe argue, maybe apologize again, but I was done. I walked out without another word. That moment right there was the real closure. Not the letter, not the months of silence. That. I finally felt free. It's been 6 months now. I moved into a new apartment across the city, far from old memories. I adopted another dog, yes. I'm now a 2-dog girl. Started running again. Picked up some freelance work on the side. Lila and I took a trip to Portland in the spring. We drank too much wine, laughed about the disaster that was last year, and made a pact to never let another toxic person in without a fight. Amanda hasn't reached out since I sent that letter. Neither has my mom. We're still strained, to say the least. She keeps pretending Amanda's just going through a rough patch, but I've stopped playing along. My dad and I, we're closer than ever. Turns out when you go through hell and someone stands beside you without flinching, you don't forget that. He's the only one who never asked me to shrink myself to make things easier for everyone else. Sometimes I still think about Amanda, not in a longing way, more like studying a scar. I wonder if she ever regrets it. If she still tells herself she had no choice, I guess I'll never know. And that's okay. Because here's what I've learned. You can love someone deeply and still choose to walk away. You can mourn the relationship, miss them even, and still know they're not good for you. You don't owe anyone your peace. And just because someone shares your blood doesn't mean they deserve your forgiveness. I used to think I needed her to be okay for me to be okay. But I was wrong. I'm okay now. Better even. And she has to live with what she did. Not me. Subscribe for more videos.